In this episode, we're going to be getting the rest of the driveline into the Forester from the Spec B Liberty. We need to get that diff in. We've got a lot more to do in this episode too. We have the tail shaft, we've got all the drive shafts, and we'll be buttoning up the rest of the shifter and getting that all good. Let's jack it up, drop the diff, get that diff in. Jacked the back of it up. We need to get the diff back out. I need to drop this power cable and we're going to route that in a different way. We should be able to get the diff out. You can see just a little gap on the end of the shafts. They are popped out, so hopefully when we bring it down we'll be able to get it out. Alright, diff pack is out. This was the modified one with the dual exhaust system. I've just got a 3-inch pipe on there. See, it's all standard. Time to cut some cable ties on these power cables, free up some room for the diff to come out. Alright, so the power cable has gone back through. I'll see if I can reroute that in the cabin. Alright, so the earth has been pushed through as well, and it's just tucked up under here for now while I work on the diff. So the battery on the GoPro is nearly dead, but I'm just going to undo the bolts. I'll show you when it's out what the bolts are. These bushes look okay at the back here, whereas the ones on the Liberty was absolutely smoked. So we'll get them out and I'll show you. Alright, we've got the auto diff out. I did take the studs off just because of how it was mounted. And yeah, I spilled some, so we're going to have to change this cardboard over. You can see there, all the bolts are in that mount, which is connected to a cross member, which you're going to take like all the suspension out. So studs out, so then you can lift it straight up and into those bolts. So we're going to have to change the cardboard, clean up the ends, and then we'll bring that one in. Got to have something under it to bring it up and keep it nice and flat. I can't use the transmission jack because it's too high. I can only drop it probably 20 mil, unless, well, I need to get these in pretty low and then get it up. It's pretty heavy. Alright, let's get the studs out of the 6-speed diff so then we can get it into the FOS. So if you don't know how to get a stud out, you double nut it and then you try to loosen the one in the front, and then you end up loosening the stud. Alright, I'm using both the trolley jacks up back at the front so I can get some tilt on it. I've just got one nut up here. That's great. It's a good start. We've got the drive shafts in. I don't think they're in all the way just yet, but we're getting there. She shouldn't be able to drop down now, so I'll get one more nut on the other side and then we'll get the back of it up and get the studs for the bushings and get it all mounted up. Alright, the diff is in. We're going to put the tail shaft in, but we need to finish off the shifter. So we need to finish weld that. Need to get like the rubber boot in, got to get the reverse lockout cable in. So we'll do that now and then we'll do the tail shaft. Alright, so we've got the shifter linkages or rods out. We're going to clean up where I need to weld them. We'll weld them and clean them up again, and might shoot them with a little bit of black paint so we don't get any rust going on. Let them cool down, then we'll get them back into the rubber boots and get them all fitted up again. Alright, we are welded up and I put some paint on there, which is actually, put some engine enamel paint on there, so it should be alright. Alright, I've got the shifter link all together, ready to go in. I need to modify the mounting ring that presses the rubber boot down onto the body. So pretty much we just need to cut off here and then we'll have to put some holes into the body with some rib nuts and bolt that down. Alright, we've got the shifter 100% in, except for the trim. I've pulled the power cable out, so we've just got one which is going to the front, and the back one will send through the car to the back. Might have to get another trim. I don't need, obviously, a hold for automatic. I don't use that anymore, so I might get the one that's got the 2 cups in it if I can find it. So let's go look under. Right, so have all the shifter linkages in there. Now the reverse cable is obviously long, so it's got this nice S bend in it. It still works, it's fine. Yeah, we're going to put the tail shaft in now. Alright guys, the tail shaft is in, so I'm going to back it up. Yeah, the rear drive shafts aren't 100% in yet. Still need to pop them in, and we've got to pop the front ones in. So we've got to get the front drive shafts in. So we need to get this assembly down and get the drive shaft into here first, and then into the box. Alright, so I've got the jack under the ball joint at the bottom, so it's going to take its weight. So remember, I don't have the sway bar attached, so this should be able to drop down quite a bit. Okay, should be enough to get the drive shaft through. It's been out for a while, so it's pretty dirty, so I'm going to clean it up a bit first. Alright, so there's still grease and everything in the bearing, but we've just cleaned up this end. Sorry guys, you missed that. This end was up high and it just went straight in. Now it's all about matching up the pin to go through that stub axle. Alright, so I've got the bottom bolt in there, so we've still got movement. Then we'll go under the car and line everything up. Alright, you can see the hole here. It needs to line up with that one up on the stub axle. Now you can be 180 out where the hole won't align properly. So we need to have a good light source near you. Oh, it's dropping stuff on me. Let's see if we are. I think I'm in neutral in the gearbox. Yep. So you'll know if you're lining up on the splines properly. Actually, I think that's correct. Got it right. Sweet. Now you got to get your pin, your little roll pin. And get that in. Get a punch that's bigger than that, so you don't push it all the way through. And just whack it in. Don't know how this will look because you guys are flat on the ground. Sweet. Sick. Now we've got to go finish off on the outside. Alright, so we've got to make sure the splines come through, and we've got to push it in and get the other bolt in. Alright, so we're going to take this bolt out because it goes in the other way. That was just to hold it. So we'll push it in and we'll put the other one in, the camber bolt. It can only go in one way, guys, because it's larger on one side. So we can now pop this one out and put it in the other way. So we want to make sure before you take it off, that you mark where your camber bolt actually was. I'm going to need an alignment. Yeah, we'll stack them up, and then we'll get the big 32mm nut on there. Alright, we are on. You should pin that over. You really should get a new nut every time you take them off, but not today. So then we got to put the ABS back on there, which is right there. Now with the sway bar link down here, it's not attached, that gold thing. You should be doing that up while it's on the ground. And when your car's pretty low, it's hard to do. So either have even bits of wood under your wheels, or get ramps and then do it up once it's all settled down, which I'm going to try to do. So we won't do them up just yet. Alright, so I'm just going to repeat the same thing on the other side, and that's it for the 6-speed driveline. Next time on Harrods Garage, we're going to be doing the wiring for the auto to manual conversion, so stay tuned for that.